Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be cutting down this 115-foot gum tree right here, and I'm going to be showing you the safest way that I have found to cut down these trees without causing any damage or risk to yourself. Alright, so first of all, I am not a professional. I've cut down maybe 50 or 60 trees, so I'm kind of familiar with it, and since using this technique, I've cut down at least 10 large trees that could have fallen in the wrong way and hit something. And some I've had a very narrow window where it needed to fall, and I've had a 100% success rate dropping these trees exactly where I want them with a lot less money involved. So here's some of the things that I had to buy to get that done. So I had to buy 2 of these come-alongs. I believe this is a 2,000 pound come-along or 1,500. It's something close to that. So this can pull up to 1,500 or 2,000 pounds. I bought 2 of these. I have 6 of these tow straps. I think these are like 50 feet long, and they go up to well over 3,000 pound pull weight. I think it's 3,300. And then I had 2 of these ratchet straps. If these straps are too long, say you need only 8 more feet, you don't want to have to tie this in a knot trying to get that to 8 feet. This is adjustable. Again, this can pull up to 3,333 pounds for some reason. Next, you'll need a chainsaw, and I purchased this 240 Husqvarna. This has been a great saw. As long as you maintain your saws, they should last a long time if it's a Husqvarna. My top pick would have been a steel chainsaw. Those were quite a bit more pricey than this Husqvarna, but those will last forever if maintained. So this is a good saw if you need one. I purchased all of this stuff right here from Lowe's. You can get the saw, the straps, the ropes, and everything you need. Next, you'll need to have some safety equipment. So I got this hard hat. It also has a shield that can cover your eyes, and then it has headphones that you can cover up your ears to cancel out some of that noise. I would recommend getting some chaps. I've actually known a few guys that have gotten injured by chainsaws, and it seems like it's normally the legs that get injured. These chaps actually will shred, and all the threads will get tangled up in the chain. Before it cuts through, it'll stop the saw. That's what they're designed to do, and that will protect your leg from potentially getting injured. Alright, so I'm going to draw out a tree right here, and this is very similar to the one that I'm cutting down today. Now there's one very large branch that's tilting downhill. It branches off from that main trunk of the tree, and that's about 25-30 feet in the air, and that's where I'm going to put the straps today. With that being so high up, I'll have plenty of leverage to pull it down. If it's any lower, you're not going to get much leverage. With a tree of this size, you need to get higher up in the air. I'm going to draw a very rough footprint of what our yard looks like and some of the obstacles I'm trying to avoid with this tree. This tree is 115 feet tall, so everything that I'm drawing out is in the way. Our property line, our fence that our neighbor, chicken coop, house, and then our garden. To the bottom left, we have our shed. We have a few fruit trees along the property line as well, so we don't want to hit any of those. So we have a fairly small window where we want to drop this, and I'm actually aiming it straight downhill at these 2 trees that I'm going to be strapping to. I'm trying to pull it directly towards those trees. So this is how the system works. I have 2 come-alongs that I'm going to be attaching to 2 separate trees, making sort of a triangle. This is the strongest shape that can keep this tree going in the right direction. So the strap on the right side will be protecting it from falling too far on the left, and the strap on the left side will protect the right side. So technically, in this small little curved triangle right here is the only place that that tree could fall with the angles of the strap right now. The closer you bring those come-alongs to each other, the less control you're going to have on pulling the direction you want this to go. So here's the tree I'm going to be cutting down today. It's a 115-foot tall sweet gum tree. It drops these spiky gum balls all over the yard, messes up the yard, and makes it a pain to mow. I'm also going to be using this for firewood. Gum is great for firewood. It's really hard to split, so I'm going to have quite the time doing that. But this is what needs to be dropped. That limb is so high up, you can see all the way up there. That's where I need to get the rope. So I'm actually going to be using a kid's bow and arrow and some string tied to the arrow. And I'm going to shoot that up through that crotch of the tree that you can see up there. And that will work perfect because once the string is up, I can pull a light rope up through, and then I could use that rope to pull the straps up. Once I have the strap up and over that limb and it reaches to the ground on the other side, what I'm going to do is basically tie a big loop like a lasso around one end, and I'll put the other end of the strap through that loop, and that will allow me to pull it all the way up to the limb. It will tighten down on that limb, and the tighter you pull, the tighter it's going to hold onto that limb and keep it in place really well once you start ratcheting it. Now I'm going to go 100 feet into the woods on the other end and strap to another large tree down towards the base of it where it has the most strength, and I'm going to ratchet that down fairly tight. What I want to do is test that limb. The last thing I want to happen is for that limb to break off while I'm cutting the tree and it ends up falling the other way, because now there's no straps holding it. So what I'm going to do is I'll put both straps on, ratchet those come-alongs just about as tight as I can go. And once I know that that limb is going to hold the weight, I'll loosen those back up to get ready to cut the tree. The straps are ready to go, and you can see I'm trying to guide it towards those straps right now. You can see a large oak tree, fire pit, the beehives, and our shed. This tree will demolish every single one of those. It will even reach the shed if I let it. So I'm trying to aim it right down the hill. You can see right in between the straps is the middle, but I want it to land just to the left of this tree right here. Now I'm going to start cutting the wedge. I have taken the weight off of those straps. I don't want to be pulling any pressure right now, or else that could end up pinching my saw and it would get stuck. So I'm going to cut a very basic wedge. I'm cutting close to a third of the way through the tree. I'm going to make the straight cut down at the bottom first, and then I'll come back and make the top angled cut coming down to meet that straight one at the bottom. Now, I am not a professional at cutting trees. I've already mentioned that. If you want to know more about how to notch these trees in order to guide them to the ground where you want them to go, I would look up some more videos on some professionals showing you how to do this. I've watched quite a few of those videos. I've done this quite a few times, and I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with it now. But I watched a lot and researched a lot before I even cut down my first tree, so I definitely would recommend doing that. And a trick that I like doing to make sure I have this lined up where I want it to go, I actually mark it out first with the chain, just barely cut through the bark, showing where I'm going to make those cuts so I can line it up just right. That helps me line things up because I don't do this all the time. I can kind of picture a lot better once I see those marks and I can make the right cuts. I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but here's the wedge that I've cut out. It's ready to go now. I'm going to go down and tighten down those straps. I'm not pulling all the weight that I can at this point, just trying to take some of the tension off of that tree and start pulling it my direction. Now it's time for the back cut, and I'm going to mark this out really quick, just cutting the bark, lining up where I need that line to go across, and that's when I meet perfectly with where that wedge is, and I'm trying to leave about 5 inches or so of solid wood on both sides. Again, you can probably find videos that explain this a lot better, but basically that gives you a hinge that helps you control the tree as it's falling. It will keep the base attached until it's close to hitting the ground where that wedge bottoms out, and then it'll break the hinge off. Now this is probably the most dangerous part. You need to be careful with this. I have someone helping me out, spotting, making sure that this tree isn't going anywhere, but I'm going to go down and tighten those straps just about as tight as I can go. If this tree starts moving at all, my spotter will give me the signal. I'll run off to the side or down into the woods and we'll be perfectly fine. At that point, I'm not trying to pull the tree over, I'm just trying to take some of that weight and pull it downhill a little more. Now I'm going to come back with the chainsaw and take off 1 more inch. It's down to a 4-inch hinge, and we're just going to tap in a few wedges. This is going to help the tree fall the rest of the way. We can start hearing a few pops, and if you watch the straps, those are slowly going down. That means the tree is going towards the straps, and now that all the weight is in that direction, it will just keep going down that way. You can hear me say it in the video. I was really excited. Landed exactly where I wanted, right up against that tree. Couldn't have been any closer. Now, a professional probably could have done that without any straps and just a few wedges, would have sent it exactly where they wanted. I am not that confident. I need those straps to feel a lot safer and confident in what I'm doing, making sure I'm staying safe. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If it was, let me know down in the comment section and hit that like button down below on this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please be careful if you try this at home. There still is a lot of risk involved in cutting these trees down, so if you do not feel comfortable, please do not try this. Do your research, know what you're doing, and try this at your own risk. I can't guarantee that this will always work for every situation. Some trees are just not safe, and professionals do need to take them down, so make sure you keep that in mind. If you're already planning to cut down a tree yourself to save some money, this definitely does give you an extra safety net, but I've seen way too many videos of trees falling through houses, crashing into cars from failed attempts of cutting down trees, so please be careful while you do this. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.